Welcome back to our weekly weather analysis. The last week of November will bring a new cooling episode triggered by a weakening of the polar vortex. A new Rossby wave arrives starting Monday, and thereafter we expect the Atlantic circulation to dominate the regional pattern for at least the next 6 to 7 days, as Europe's synoptic setup stabilizes. After this week, American and European model guidance diverges. ECMWF projects a return of the polar vortex intensity toward climatological norms, while GFS maintains a scenario in which polar region geopotential fields remain weak into the first week of December. The UK and Ireland face a highly dynamic week. Monday to Wednesday, a surge of Arctic and Greenland air brings cold, crisp conditions, with temperatures remaining suppressed. From Thursday, the Atlantic reasserts control, bringing milder temperatures and a more active rainfall pattern. After a short mild and wet spell, temperatures dip again late in the week. Weekly rainfall totals will reach 15 to 17 millimeters, slightly above climatological averages. Belgium and the Netherlands will experience a pattern similar to the British Isles. Monday brings cooling, Wednesday and Thursday deliver warmer air, and by Saturday, another cold front drops temperatures back below seasonal norms. Rainfall will be widespread and productive, with 40 to 45 millimeters expected across most areas. Northern and northeastern France will be a notable exception, with lower totals around 20 millimeters. Spain and Portugal will not have a pleasant week ahead. Persistent cooler than average conditions dominate from start to finish. Rainfall will be limited to Monday and Tuesday. By midweek, the Azores high expands and establishes a pronounced precipitation deficit regime over both Spain and Portugal. Expect a dry second half of the week. Italy enters a period of high instability, driven by a continuous influx of cold air and vigorous Mediterranean cyclogenesis. Two distinct low-pressure systems are expected to form. The week starts very cold. By Tuesday, temperatures rise above seasonal norms in central Italy. Wednesday brings a renewed sharp cooling, and the remainder of the week stays below average. Precipitation distribution finds central and southern Italy under widespread rainfall, snowfall in northern Italy and exceptionally heavy precipitation on the Adriatic coastline, as very cold air spills into Bosnia, Croatia, Albania, and North Macedonia midweek. Greece sees a mixed pattern, warmer than average early on, then cooler toward the end of the week. The start of the week finds most of the Eastern Europe under a slightly warming process, which is interrupted by a weak blow of cooler air from the Central Europe cold air intrusion. At the same time, a cyclone formed over the Adriatic Sea will move north and will favorize the transport of a warmer air mass over this part of Europe, blocking the attempt of taking over by the cold air. After this, it is likely that the weather will stabilize. Precipitation will appear in the second half of the week, with the arrival of the Mediterranean cyclone. The most affected region by rainfall will end up being the southern Carpathians Faces and Foothills, where up to 40 millimeters of precipitation is possible. Higher values will likely fall at higher altitudes, based on orography. Central Europe is dominated by cold Arctic air throughout the week. Snowfall is expected in Germany, Czechia, Slovakia, Austria and Poland. Hungary sees more mixed precipitation, rain in some areas transitioning to snow. Temperatures remain well below average, and from Thursday onward, an increasingly cold air mass settles in, with values dropping below -10 degrees Celsius in southeastern Germany, Czechia, Slovakia, and Poland. Starting Saturday, milder Atlantic air begins pushing the cold pool eastward toward the Russian plain. Scandinavia will experience a highly variable week. Severe cold will be the name of the game for the first days, with northern areas reaching as low as -20 degrees Celsius, exceptionally low for late November. Starting with the middle of the week, a rapid warming trend emerges, bringing many regions close to the freezing mark. Snow will fall throughout the week, but the most significant precipitation is expected along the Norwegian coast, where Atlantic moisture fuels heavy precipitation, mostly in solid form. This final week of November is defined by the battle between Arctic air and a resurgent Atlantic circulation. Europe faces sharp temperature swings, snow events in central and northern regions, and active rainfall episodes in the west and south. The weakened polar vortex continues to shape the continental pattern, and its evolution in early December will determine whether winter begins with stability or renewed Arctic volatility. Stay tuned for further updates.